Like many of her generation, Leila Mills heads to college armed with the latest ways to save. She started by taking college credit courses while still in high school. Today, she lives at home, has a job, and is already paying on her student loans.
I've been told by other people that you come out of college with debt, so I just accepted it, and I put it in my mind it's going to take me 10 years to pay off this debt.
While Mills is optimistic, she and her peers still face an uphill battle. In the last 25 years, college tuition has risen more than 400%. Nationally, the average student graduates with well over $20,000 in debt. Combine that with a tough economy and poor job prospects, and it creates a perfect storm. For parents, even those with dual incomes, there's plenty to worry about.
I've got back-to-back kids going into college. We've been through economic hard times, used a lot of our savings to get through that. So now paying for college here in 2 years is a definite concern.
That concern stretches to many college campuses where administrators are trying to cut costs, keep quality high, and compete with a new array of online offerings.
In this current educational climate, many universities are facing a cloudy future. In fact, analysts like Nathan Harden say half will not make it.
I think a lot of universities potentially might find themselves having trouble attracting enough students to keep going.
In his article, The End of the University as We Know It, Harden predicts dramatic changes in the next 50 years, a future where only elite and flagship state schools survive. It includes the decline of residential campuses, free online access to a college-level education for all, and the closure of roughly half of the country's 4,500 universities. It's a landscape that Regent University President Carlos Campo says must be navigated with care.
Is Nathan Harden right that tuition-driven schools will fail in the next 50 years? Yes. It's tough to let go and say we're not going to make it. No school wants to say that about themselves. But I think you're going to see that students are thinking, this school isn't well resourced. It's quite clear that their graduates aren't doing well in the marketplace. How can I invest in this education?
In today's environment, Campo says universities must know who they are and create online opportunities for students.
There are great case statements to be made for a lower cost. You can get through an online degree often more quickly than you can in a traditional environment.
Still, Campo believes the residential experience is here to stay.
There is something different about the interaction that happens, the growth that happens in the student body as they interact with their peers, with faculty and staff.
Regent offers both online and traditional programs, a path many universities are jumping on as well. Perhaps the clearest sign of change is elite universities like Harvard and MIT offering what are known as massive open online courses, or MOOCs. These free classes are open to anyone, anywhere.
The big stigma here, I think, is that online education hasn't been respected as sort of being on par with an in-class experience. But I think that's starting to slowly change.
Ultimately, Harden believes thousands of professors will lose their jobs as online education efficiently delivers content. For now, many kinks remain. There's no degree credit attached to MOOCs like Harvard's. And in the current online universe, there is a wealth of options to consider. Campo says students must know what they want and consider what skill sets employers want.
I would ask this, tell me the online educator you're considering, what are their graduation rates? What are their students doing 2 years after they graduate, 5 or 10?
One bright spot for students moves to dramatically lower tuition. In Texas, they're calling it the 10K revolution. That is $10K as in $10,000 for a 4-year degree.
In the past, when the cost of college has been addressed, we've always heard, well, let's raise taxes or lower the interest rates on student loans so that students can pay more or tax dollars can go higher. Instead, now, for the first time, we're lowering the cost of college.
Some Texas and Florida universities have already begun to offer such degrees, which usually start in high school with dual credit classes. And they typically offer web-based instruction to glean savings. It could be a marriage made in higher ed heaven, technology paving the way for dramatic tuition cuts. Leila Mills has already taken advantage, taking online classes to save time and money. It's just one more indication that fundamental changes are already underway. Heather Sells, CBN News.